Hi everyone, welcome back to my Master Grade Sinanju work in progress and how to airbrush your Gunpla series. And this is really just a direct continuation of the last part I made. So yeah, I'll go straight into it really. If you want to look at the previous parts, then I'll have links in the description, and indeed if you want to have a look on my channel page, then there's a playlist here which will contain the rest of the parts. So we'll go straight into this next part, and hopefully it'll make sense if you've seen the previous parts. Okay, so this is how the parts look after the first layer of primer. Like I say, I normally do probably 2 layers, maybe even 3 sometimes, depending on how I feel. But you can see here, these parts were originally red, and now they're kind of purpley lilac. And what that is just because it's a dusting of the primer where it's not completely covered. So effectively what's happened now is it's kind of nestled into the kind of deeper areas of the surface, if you will, and it's kind of like a dusting, like a key coat. So really when the second layer goes on, a bit more like how this one looks, then it will look much smoother where it fills in the kind of gaps of the original first layer of paint. So you can see here, this is what the pieces will look like after finalized priming. So you can see here, I've pretty much done the rest of the body. These will require some secondary coats of primer. This is the head, and you can see some of the recesses there. There's still some red showing through. And to be honest, it's not absolutely crucial to get everything covered, but it's just your preference really as to how perfect you want it to be. Because when you do the the multiple layers of base color and top coat and all that sort of stuff, well, it'll be perfectly smooth by the time you're done anyway. So okay, that's my little part on priming. So we'll carry on, and I'll meet you back later on. Alright, so it's time to have a look at this Sinanju's body and head section, and this is the primed and pre-shaded stage once again. And I know I've already shown this in a previous stage, but I thought I might as well show this little work in progress off as another tutorial, just to reiterate some points anyway. So as you can see, on this styrene block, I have them at different levels. So what happens is I just find it easier to actually use and pick up the pieces if they're the back ones are higher up and the front ones are lower down, and it just allows me to pick things up without having to get in each other's way, basically. So what I'll do is I'll just show off some of these pieces again, just to basically give you guys an idea on how you would or how I would go about pre-shading various different style and shapes of pieces. So bear with me 1 second, I'll just lock this focus in, and hopefully, yeah, okay. So pieces like this, I'm not going to really talk over this too much, but I'm just going to give you guys a very quick preview as I go along, just to show you how you would go about tackling different pre-shades for different sizes and shapes. And with pieces like this, I always find the tips, I always give them a bit more of a gradation right there. So that just allows a bit more play when you come to do these, because otherwise they're quite bland. Actually, the face mask is one I would like to talk over very quickly. I mean, there's not much to it, but what you'll see is I've made the Vulcan areas towards each side a darker colour, and I've also just given it like a shadow coat on the very base of the underside of the jaw. So just to give it a fake impression of a shadow and depth to it all, really. And we'll move on a little bit. Now this is the side of the head, very much like same idea with the jawline, the jaw piece. I've just edged the bottom of the kind of skirting helmet, if you will, and I've also done the very bottom of the side plate armor of the cheeks. Alright, so moving on. Now, here's another piece I wanted to talk about. Top of the head. I pay a little bit more attention to the head because, you know, that's the main focal area. But what I've done here is, this is the very top dome of the head. So I've gone around the outside, but I've also gone around the groove where the command antenna would fit in. And I've also gone around where these vents are as well. Alright, moving on. Now, I did want to show you these black pieces, which I don't think I got to show in the last few parts. And if you have a look here, now, I think this Vallejo black primer, which I showed you in the previous parts, works out really well as just a paint by all in on itself. So I'm not sure how well this is coming across in the light, but what you get with this Vallejo primer is a very, very smooth finish. So perhaps this would be a better... Let's try this one. So I hope you can see here, it's just a very smooth finish. So if I just get the light bouncing off this rounded torso part, you should be able to see. It's a really nice finish that you get with these Vallejo primers. So these, I don't even think they need paint, to be honest. I'll probably just leave them as they are. And of course, around all the edges of these various black pieces with the Sinanju, it's going to need the sleeves kind of gold outer markings, which is a pain in the ass, but you know, nonetheless, it's all worth it in the end. But this is the cockpit area, which I've decided just to paint the whole thing black. I mean, there is a hinge in there that in theory should be a different colour, but you know, you're not going to see it all the time, so I've just been a little bit lazy and done the whole thing in black. Alright, so that's pretty much the whole thing, really. So I hope this video hasn't been treading on old ground too much, and the idea is that it gives you a variety of all kinds of different shapes and sizes of parts that and how you would go about pre-shading them. So until next time, I will see you again. So thanks for watching.